Hey Jamper fans, Jamper Man here. Coming to you from underneath the Jamper. I guess you're wondering why I'm underneath the Jamper. Well, today is a special day. It's Jamper Care Day. Yes, that's right. We're going to be doing some routine maintenance here on the Jamper, and figured I'd bring you along. So first thing we're going to do is the oil change. So I want to turn you around here so you can see what we're working with. So right here is my oil drain. On my last oil change, let me bring it in closer. I put on this special fitting to where all I have to do is unscrew this cap and put on this special valve, and this tube I'll put into this old empty oil jug and drain right into this jug without making a mess. This will be the first time I've done this, so hopefully we're not going to make a mess. So yeah, let's do it. Yeah, look at that. That's working pretty good. I heard it's kind of slow, so while that finishes draining, I'm going to go deal with the oil filter. So come along with me for that. So next is the oil filter, which is right up in there. You can see where my finger is pointing. It's going to be that black canister right there. So I gotta work my arm up in there to take that off, and so that's a little tricky, but I'm usually able to do it fairly simply, so let's do it. Nope, not gonna be easy. Gonna have to do this the hard way. And what makes this harder is my assistant here always wants to be right next to me, even when I'm under my truck. We're gonna teach her how to change the oil one day, but yeah, she's helping. What can you do? So what I have to do now is reach down inside here and loosen the oil filter from the top, and then I'll go back down underneath and finish taking it off and make sure my drain pan is lined up to catch the oil that comes out. I couldn't get a good angle or a good grip from below. Okay, there, we got it loosened. Now I can go back down below and finish taking it off and draining the oil out of it. Alright, so there's like a little drip catcher here that funnels oil down when it comes out. So I'm gonna line my pan up, hopefully with that, so that I can take this off and catch the oil when it comes down. Oh, there it goes. I got it. There it comes. There's the old filter. Put that in there. I'll let the rest of that drain out. I'm gonna have to get my flashlight, put it up in there, and inspect that oil, where the oil filter attaches. Make sure there's no gasket material left on there. I make sure it's clean before I install the new filter. Alright, so I did a visual inspection of the attachment area. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. Nothing stuck to it. It's not super dirty. However, I'm going to use a little engine degreaser, clean it up a little bit with these rags, and then I'll install the new filter. Okay, now we're going to put in the new filter. I'm using a Wix XP. It's extended performance. It's rated for 20,000 miles. Of course, I'm not going to let it go that long. I usually do my oil changes about every 5,000 miles or so. But this will give me that extra filtration that I need. So what happens now is we take a little bit of oil, and you got to lube up the gasket on here before installing it. So that's what I did. I just used a little bit of the old oil. It's fine. And yep, I'm gonna screw it back in. Alright, so I got that mostly secured. I'm going to go in from the top and tighten it down where I can get a good grip on it. Alright, well, in the time that... let me get comfortable under here. In the time that it took to do the filter, it appears that this is finished draining. The tube is clear, so it looks like it's not... like there's nothing residual in there, and it should... oh yeah, that's nice and heavy. That's full of the oil. So I'm going to disconnect our little adapter thing here. I'll move this out of the way and deal with that in a minute without letting it fall into the jug very carefully. I'm going to hit this area with some degreaser, wipe it down, replace this cap, and we'll be good to go. Yes, I know I got degreaser hitting my driveway, but... put that on finger tight so we can get it off next time, and that completes this part of the oil change. So what I'm going to do now is go up top and add the engine oil. Now I'm going to fill the engine oil. My opening's pretty big here, but I still like to use a funnel just in case, so I don't spill. I'm going to use this Valvoline Restore and Protect. I've heard a lot of good things about this. My last oil change I put some in. It seemed to do really well. So I'm going to keep using it. 5W20, which is what is recommended for my engine. It says it right there on the oil cap. So I'll pour this in. Probably going to take a minute because, you know, I fill the funnel up and then have to wait for it to drain. So yeah. So this jug is 5 quarts, which should be the recommended amount for this truck, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just going to dump the whole thing in. There we go. And then try not to drip on the truck. set this off to the side. I'm going to start her up real quick, get down off of these ramps so I can measure the oil level, you know, with the truck sitting on level ground. So I'll be right back and we can check that. Alright, so that was a quick little engine startup just to get it down off the ramps and shut it down right away. So I doubt that the oil really had time to circulate much through the system. But now we're going to check the dipstick while it's level. Wipe it off. Stick it back in and pull it out to see what our level is. And I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's right in the hatch marks, which means it's in the safe zone. Actually, it looks to be right dead smack in the middle of the hash mark. So our oil level is good. Make sure the thing is tight, and we're going to move on to the next project. I did look underneath to make sure no oil was pouring out or anything, and it looks fine. So now we're going to continue on with some maintenance things. What we're going to do is check the rest of the fluids, like power steering fluid, brake fluid. I'm going to take the air filter out of here. I have the kind that's washable, so I'm going to hose off the air filter, let it dry, and put it back in. And actually what I'm going to do with this one, I'm also going to check the coolant level, which should be okay because I just added some the other day. What I might do while I have the filter out is take the air box off so I can get to the camshaft position sensor and maybe clean that up some. Not sure if it really needs it, but while I have it apart, maybe I'll go ahead and do that. I'm also going to get back under the truck, check the front and rear differential fluids, make sure those are okay, top them off if needed, and that should be probably the extent of what I'm going to do today. So let's get to it. Alright, I think I am going to go ahead and clean this camshaft sensor. I've never done this before, so this will be a new one. I did watch a video about it, so you do have to move that out of the way. Disconnect this hose from the side of the air box, and then the air box, this whole thing should just wiggle out. Oh, there we go. Air box is out. Easy enough. So then the camshaft position sensor is up underneath the engine here. So I'm going to need to let's see, I'm going to have to get a rag and clean up that area. It looks a little kind of dirty from here. Let me bring you over here. Alright, so this right here where my finger is the camshaft position sensor. So this is an electrical connection that I'm going to have to clean up and take off of there, and then right up under here where my finger is a I think it's a 10mm bolt that I have to take out, and then the sensor should just pull down out of there. I'm not going to spray degreaser directly on it, but I put some degreaser on this towel. Oh, that looks a lot better. Alright. So after doing some working because it was really stuck up in there. I got that cam position sensor out, and it's pretty oily, but from what I read, that's normal. I am gonna use some mass airflow injector cleaner to clean that up real good, and then reinsert it back in there. So that's cam position sensor for you. Okay, now I'm going to reinstall the sensor. All right, so I got that tightened down. On to checking differentials. Well, after I put the air box and all that back on here. Air filter still drying off. I'll let that continue to dry, and I'm going to move on after I clean up my tools. I'll move on. All right, so this is the front differential, which is this box right here. Let's see, I think I got some, I think that's residual drops from when I was doing the oil change. It's drops of the degreaser that I sprayed up in there. So anyway, this is the this is where you check the level and add more differential fluid if needed. So it's simply a socket, 3/8 I believe this is, that you just kind of get it in there. Might help if I go the right way. Righty tighty, lefty loosey, right? Alright, well, I'm going to try a larger, longer socket wrench so I have more leverage. Oh, there we go. Alright, so taking the plug off. The plug looks good. Not a lot of gunk on it, but like I said, I had it off not too long ago. Now, what most people do is just take a Allen wrench, and if you can stick it down inside, and you see it comes out wet, then you have your differential fluid in there. I can't really tell. It might be a little bit low because what usually happens is they fill these up until like you fill it up till it starts coming out of the fill hole, and that's usually the indicator as to when it's full. So it might be a little bit low. I'm going to try adding some. So hold on just a second while I grab my differential fluid. I'll be right back. All right, I am back, and by the magic of the intranets, I've got my differential fluid dispenser bottle thing. Whoa. That's not good. That came off. Ah, boy. Nothing can be easy, can it? Alright. A little harder than it really should be, because I gotta hold the tube on the bottle and hold it into the differential case to make sure it doesn't come out as I pump the differential fluid into the differential case. My bottle's almost empty. Huh. It's been lower than it appeared. Alright, see, it's starting to flow out of the fill hole, so that means we are filled. Alright, so we know it's full when it starts leaking out of the fill hole. So, we are gonna put the cap back on, get it started by hand, and then tighten it with the wrench. Again, we're gonna clean this up some. And before I'm finished, I'm going to hit it with some degreaser again and clean up all of this mess under here. I'm going to spend a lot of time today just cleaning up tools. I'll have to find the torque spec on that and torque that down once I get my torque wrench. Alright, time to move to the rear looking at the rear differential right here. This one is a little bit different, a little bit easier. This has just a rubber plug that goes in there. Hold on, let me move my light a little bit so it's out of the way and I can get in here. And I'm just going to use this little pry tool to get up in there. Oh, there it goes. Popped right off. So, yep, that's the little rubber fill tool. And then, once again, I use my Allen wrench to check. Oh, seems like there's a lot in there. Let me just see if I can just pump it like this without the little hose thing, and like it does. I know it's not going to need much because I'm pretty sure that fluid is right there. Oh, there it goes. It's coming out now. I think we're full. And I'm gonna go ahead and pop the cap back on. Anyway, so there we go with the rear differential. That one's finished. Again, I'm gonna clean all this up with some degreaser, get it nice and clean, and then yeah, I'll have to keep an better eye on this because I really did just fill those up not too long ago, and for them to be kind of low like that means there must be a leak somewhere. Yay, something else for me to track down and either fix myself or get somebody else to fix it. If I can't do it, not sure if you can see this, but up in here where my finger is a little grease fitting for my lower ball joints that I just had put on not too long ago. And I am going to attempt to grease this. So, I believe I have this on the grease fitting good enough, I suppose, and now I can oh yeah, I can see the boot of the lower ball joint moving. It's getting fatter. I'm pumping it full of grease. I don't know if you guys can see it in the video that it's moving. Yeah. Every so often these ball joints need to have grease added so that they work properly. Alright, yeah, that boot looks fat with grease. Take the grease gun off. Oh yeah, look at that. There's grease oozing out of the side of that. That's actually good. That way we know it's full of grease. It's pushing contaminants out with it. Yeah. And then once that stops oozing out, I'll take a rag and clean that up. Get that extra grease off of there so that it doesn't end up on my brakes when I drive. And then we'll just repeat that process on the other side. Well, that's a wrap. That's car maintenance day here with the Jamper. It took the better part of a day. Well, I can't say that. It took about half a day with all the stuff I did and problems I had with the camshaft position sensor, trying to get it out in order to clean it. You know, that took a little bit of time. The rest of it wasn't too bad. Now the fun part starts, cleaning up. So I got to clean up all my tools, you know, have oil and grease and whatever all over them. I got to clean those up, put them away, get that oil recycled, and then I'm going to take the Jamper on out for a test drive, make sure everything's okay and ready to go. And well, thank you for keeping me company while I work on the truck.